It all started about a month ago. My family and I were preparing to go on holiday overseas. My Galaxy S7 Edge was playing up on me, so I decided to turn it off and reboot it. I held down the power button and I was brought to the boot logo, but it stayed there and wouldn't boot up. I plugged it into my computer to realize that the operating system had corrupted and I needed to do a fresh install. This was impossible, as we had to leave for a plane 3 hours away from us. I had to put up with using my sister's old iPhone C for the holiday. Since I didn't want to be charged for overseas usage with my phone provider, I decided to leave my SIM card in my Galaxy S7. Progressing through my holiday, we got to a period where there was horrible weather and couldn't do much. I was stuck in my room, bored, absolutely mindless, and decided to start talking to my friends. I used my iPad to talk to my friend, as they had the applications pre-installed and the internet was rubbish. I remember before I went on the holiday, they started a new craze with the dark web. I have some knowledge of computers and technology, so I realized this wasn't a place you should really mess around. The group chat got me on the conversation of the dark web and started talking about all the things that they had witnessed. It didn't actually sound that bad, so I asked what they were searching on it. Plenty replied with the answer Tor, and others came back with applications on their iPhones called Onion Browser. I thought about it. This iPhone had been wiped so many times that there would be no information on my sister, so what did I have to lose? The pressure got to me, and I bit the bullet and went to the App Store and downloaded it. I opened up the browser and headed over to the wiki to show me some sites that I could access. They were the basic ones, like Black Market, like guns, drugs, and hitman services. I saw there was another section to the wiki and clicked on it. The website had minimal information about them, so you didn't really know what you were getting yourself into until you loaded the site up. I closed my eyes, scrolled down a bit, and clicked on a random link. As I opened my eyes, I was looking at some sort of website with numerous services on it. It seemed pretty clean until all of a sudden a chat window popped up on the bottom right-hand side. Hi. Welcome, new user, thanks for coming. No problem, I said, thinking nothing of it, and saw another message. We have a show about to start. Would you like to join? At this point I was oddly curious about what show the user was talking about. I wondered what it could possibly be. Yeah, why not? I was then greeted with a bunch of terms and conditions. The one that stuck out was, if you leave before the show has ended, your IP will be blocked from the site and you'll never be able to access the site again. What, they have my IP? I was worried for a moment, but then thought, I'm in a hotel. What's the spat that could happen? I agreed to the terms and conditions and followed the instructions to the show. I was presented with a hidden part of their site, with a blank live feed in the middle. It was counting down to the start of the show, and as the counter got to the 1 minute mark, a chat box appeared at the bottom. I saw people entering messages in. It was a chat for us to communicate while the show was happening. Nothing was really said, just a few hellos and how we are. There wasn't any talk about what the show would be. The timer got to 0 and the live feed started. It was a man with an anonymous mask and he greeted us all. Hello and welcome to the show. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us again. If you're an existing user, welcome back, thanks for returning. We have something special in store for you today. The guy stepped away from the camera and turned a light on. A girl was strapped to a chair, with only her bra and panties on. She was wearing a mask too. I was a bit worried and thought she was going to be assaulted sexually, but I was wrong. Another chat window popped up with a user by the name of Scarecrow476. The host asked to inform them what they wanted to happen. He replied, something absolutely horrific. As I was reading it, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they were willing to take the life of this fine-looking girl. I was frantic, I had no idea what to do, and my eyes started to water as he began to load up the weapon. I felt like throwing up and typed in the chat, "You guys are mental and I hope you get killed in the worst ways imaginable." This is where I made the worst mistake of my life. I was immediately redirected to a blank screen with a chat box. The user was by the name of Site Owner, and I knew at this point I'd messed up. "You go to the police, and you and your whole family will be finished." "I won't," I replied. "Just let me go." I turned the application off and immediately uninstalled the application. I was scared for my life. I had no idea what to do. I returned home to find that everything in life seemed to be normal. I wiped the phone and listed it up for sale. A guy bought it for his daughter as a gift. He was a nice guy who was about to go on vacation for a weekend to the city. He thanked me and left. I was so relieved. I don't ever want to see that phone again. I remember the horrible things I saw while on my holiday away. A week had passed, and as I was watching TV, breaking news came on. A family had been brutally murdered, visiting the city for the weekend. They had been uncontactable for a whole week, and their immediate family were worried and called the police. They found them dead in a hotel. They had no idea who'd done it, and wanted witnesses or people with information to step forward. It hit me like a freight train. They got the IMEI from the phone, and when they logged on to any form of social media, they could find out who they were, and someone then hunted them down because of my mistake. I feel absolutely horrible. My advice to you: never go on the dark web.